Piracy is morally okay, and with that, hello and welcome to the AWKWARDCast, Ray and Y and Keyframe. Wonder about random dribble.
How did you manage that the live sign is visible?
I don't even know. I wasn't even looking at the computer.
But the live sign is there, so I guess this was our official entry into the show now. And today with us. Once again,
we're making this the PaleoSteno. Isn't that what you put on the promo?
The password cast.
Password.
Yeah.
Oh, it still sounds so
What's your
nasty.
password?
What's your password?
The password. But yeah, we realized that this is basically a crossover now, except that Paleo gets nothing except for exposure out of it, and let me see. The average episode of the POS podcast, at least the VOD, has a few more views, so we are really making the better end of the deal here, Key. High five in the corner. No, the other. Yeah. No. Look, yay! But yeah, PaleoSteno once again with us. Welcome back. Always a pleasure having you.
Yeah, it's good to be back.
Since it has been devastating 4 months since last, and a lot of people probably got the summer hole burning away their memory. Please refresh ours. Who are you? What do you do? And why should people care?
I'm PaleoSteno. I make videos about cartoons and stuff. Mainly like animated movies. I also do a podcast called POS Podcast with Saberspark, Jaxblade, Hirasashi, and Tommy Oliver, and then sometimes some other people. And then also I've been live streaming a lot recently. I've been trying to get that back into doing that on Twitch.
On Twitch?
Which, that's PaleoSteno Plays for that.
I didn't have Twitch prepared. You got me there, good sir. Then again, it was just one click. Oh no, it's going to play something, isn't it? Okay, what did the good sir do last?
I was
talked about the new show.
Yeah, I was talking about the Make Your Mark, just like writing down some notes for it.
Fair. Okay. Oh no, this is your Twitter. There we go. Yeah. I guess this answers the question why people should care, because you do a lot of stuff to check out.
Yes.
But besides...
yes, Paleo. What have you been up to recently? Like, have you... I mean, you've been streaming a lot, so there probably are some streaming misadventures. But, like, what else have you been up to? Like, what have you killed recently?
What?
Well, that was Paleo. Awkward. Well, wait. Why is it now actually saying pre-show? Are you kidding me?
Well, I mean,
Paleo, we're in the pre-show. You can admit to your crimes without any
I have killed a lot of Saminids in Splatoon 3. I've been playing that a lot.
That's him, officer. Get him. But yes, you've been. Tell us about your more active streaming and everything.
Yeah. So yeah, I started streaming a lot more because like I noticed like Twitch was like integrating. I noticed that like the Twitch chat has a lot more interactivity than compared to like YouTube stuff. As far as like YouTube streams go. Which is funny because like as soon as I started streaming again, Twitch started imploding with a bunch of news about them.
Great timing, Twitch.
Yeah. But yeah, because I did stream a bit last year when I was like streaming like Resident Evil Village and stuff. And I did like try to like start streaming regularly back in like 2018, but I never really like kept up with it. I've been trying to do it more the past few weeks. Mainly because I do want to start doing like the PNG tuber thing. And I actually do have a little thing here of yeah, what's being worked on at the moment. Oh, let me put it here. Yeah, the artist has these sketches for it so far.
Oh, look at you!
That's a lot of different expressions. I have absolutely no idea how those work. I only know it. Basically, what we do for 3 Idiots is also PNG tuber, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
But it only has 2 poses. So how does it do multiple?
Yeah,
poses?
this is just like there's only technically there's only 2 poses, but the thing is like there's a blinking like part of it, and then
there's
the part that's like looking at the audience.
So the blinking is just happening by itself in an interval or something.
Right. There's a program called AWKWARDCast that you can add images into, and it'll sort of like put it on a green screen, and you can put it on whatever program you're using.
Huh. Well, maybe one day if I should stop being lazy.
I use CSS code for 3 Idiots, which is just directly into the streaming program, so it's not green screened in.
Yeah, I have my friend Neska helping me with this, and she started doing the like VTuber or like PNG tuber thing like last year. She's her channel is called like Curious Harpy. She has like a green harpy that she uses, and I've been friends with Neska for a while. But yeah, she's got a great channel, just like playing games and stuff.
Yeah. But yes, has there been anything else going on with you, or do we move on to our boring lives?
Not too much other than the streaming stuff. I am working on the pony video, but that's about it.
Oh, gross horses. Anyways, so.
Yeah.
Who likes horses in this house? I mean, really?
I mean, I gave the new show. I believe I expressed. Is this going to be a special media section out of the media section?
I mean, my opinion.
I mean, I did expect to talk about it.
Fair. I mean, so if this is your media, then we can just leave the debate for in a bit.
Yeah, you're gonna have You're gonna have someone who likes it, paleo, and you.
I mean, I mean, it's the YouTube ones that I cannot get anything from. They are just making me cringe until my forehead hurts from all the
Wrong. The YouTube shorts are amazing. I love the YouTube shorts. They're so cute.
So who was the person who is going to like it and defend it against my grunchiness?
I mean, Hitch is I defended it against it when you told me that you didn't like it the first time. Like, Hitch is adorable in that show. I love my mentally breaking down boy. Because every short with Hitch in the Flash cartoons are all just him being 2 steps away from a mental breakdown. Same. But yes, I guess like I could quickly say my week and then I have to go take my medicine.
Okay.
So I for the most part didn't do anything notable this week, except I did at the end of the week, as most things are. I went to go see Miss Lauren, one of the idiots.
You didn't put anything on Twitter, did you, by any chance?
No, that's why I sent you pictures.
I am at allowance to show.
Yeah. I mean, I you know, I don't like sharing too many things with the public when it comes to me going out and having a good time, but I can share with people I know. But yeah, so we went to the Undertale cafe, which if you didn't see it online, I'm so sorry. But basically, there's this cafe in northern Anaheim called the Requiem Cafe, which is this fantasy cafe where people can go and like book rooms to play D&D in. It's in a college town, so there's like they blocked it off for the Undertale cafe, but there's actually little like nooks that look like they're in trees that people can like relax in and study in and stuff. It's a very cute cafe. It's small, but it did an official crossover with Undertale for this specific menu of items, and it was called the Undertale Cafe. And it was all food and drink items based off the game. So you have like sea tea, or you have like Toriel's taro milk tea, sand soda, Heat's Flamesman, all that stuff. And then like stuff like glam burgers, which they made into little macarons, butterscotch pie, all that good stuff. They're very cute.
I'm trying to catch up here. There we go. Glam burgers.
Yes. Yeah, so they're little macarons, and so are these little cinnamon bun ones, and then, you know, the butterscotch pie and spider donuts.
Oh, yeah.
All that good stuff. I don't think Fangamer nor the cafe realized how ravenous the Undertale fandom is. Because this is a very small cafe. That Pano shot was me taking a picture of the entire cafe. There was a line wrapped around the building to get into here. Me and Lauren got there early. We thought it was opening at noon. It was actually opening at 1. And there was a line when we got there at 11. And from the time it opened at 1 p.m., it took us maybe a half hour to get into the cafe. But the people behind us... Actually, where's my phone? I could send you the video of me recording the line.
Oh, my.
And this was the line before it opened. It got bigger when we left. Some people were expected to wait 4 to 5 hours to get in.
What is it?
But here's
Gamescom? Or a Comic Con? Or which ones are the ones with the insane waiting lines?
And here's the thing. You were only... there was only guaranteed food for the first 350 customers. There were over 350 people in that line. So I'll just send it here. It's sending. It'll take a minute. But
on
yeah.
WhatsApp or on Discord?
On WhatsApp, it's faster. It's just preparing. But no, but me and Lauren got in, you know, and we got in, there was still food. Sadly, the things that I wanted, which were the Glamburger macarons, because I love macarons, were all unavailable. In the first half hour, they ran out of anything that was macaron, which is like, and I was just confused because like the food restock was today. Oh yeah, because that's the thing. They only restock the food on certain days because these things aren't made in-house. So that was something I discovered. And you were only allowed 1 food item per person. You can get as many drinks as you want, but only 1 food item per person. So Lauren got the little stuff.
Are those 3 one item, or is one item actually only one of those guys?
3. Three
okay.
is the item, because you could get like a cup of spider donuts and stuff. So it was not just 1 macaron. That would be disgusting. But Lauren got the little starfait, which is that parfait that I think if you scroll up, yeah, she got that, which was very good. And I got the cinnamon butterscotch pie, which was also very good. It is not nearly as thick as that shows, but it's like a brown sugar pie, which those are usually thin. So, but it was good. It was. I mean, I like pie, so I'm gonna be fine with that. I did not want the spider donuts because they were chocolate cake donuts, and I like chocolate. I to an extent, but I was just like, I can't eat 4 chocolate donuts in one sitting, because I will eat them all, because then I feel like I wasted time. But they're good. But then we ordered, like, Lauren got the sea tea, which is like this marshmallow butterfly tea with like sea salt cold foam on the top. She loved it. I got the Heat Flamesman, which is like a white peach tea with spicy mango in it. That was delicious. That was the best thing on the fucking menu. And we ordered maybe 2 more after that because it was that good. I also got the sand soda, which is just cotton candy soda. But do you think I'm not going to go drink the Funny Skeleton Man? Like, I need to drink the Funny Skeleton juice.
Wait, this one or the other one?
Well, the one right above it is also the one that I got. No, a little bit higher. Yeah, that's the Heat's Flamesman. That's the one that I think was the best one out of everything that we got. Because it was the most unique. I mean, I like spicy mango. I think that mixed with peach tea was actually a really fucking good mix. Having a little heat in your drink. Are you trying to get one of the ferrets to come over to you?
He's walking by, but he looks at me and is like, nah, not falling for that. He looks me square in the eye and is like, fuck you, human, and walks past.
With his little paw.
Yeah.
He's in his rebellious teenage phase.
He's a ferret. He never outgrows any teenage phase.
They grow up into teenagers for the rest of their lives. But no, it was a nice place. It was very cute. They had little cardboard cutouts you could take pictures with, like, as you could see with that picture of Sans. I got to meet the Funny Skeleton Man.
You mean the #1 Tumblr sexy man?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's something to mention. While we were waiting in line, because this thing's been around for like a month at this point. It's going to close next week, which is why we went. There is so much Regan Sans vandalism just around this restaurant, this cafe, because like people have drawn them with sidewalk chalk. Someone took a ballpoint pen and drew Sans and Regan on like the little like wall on the light pole that's by the restaurant. Someone also drew a Miku on there, but that's fine. But I think the funniest thing about that trip was the fact that there's a tiki bar restaurant right next to the cafe. Someone was having their wedding reception there while we were waiting in line. At first I was like, oh, maybe it's just a rehearsal dinner or something. No, that bride was in full gown. These fucking people are having their wedding reception after what is assumed to be one of the happiest days of their lives, while a bunch of Undertale nerds and cosplayers are like 2 feet away.
Well.
And they were eating outside. They saw us. And they had live music playing, and they were playing Disney songs. So that probably explains what kind of couple these two were. The people in line are...
Did some of the Undertales go over and they're like, play Megalovania!
No, because they have some social tact. They were guitar players, so it would sound like the JoJo's to be continued ding 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 ding. But that was just a weird juxtaposition where it's like, man, fandoms just live in a vacuum and the rest of the world keeps spinning around us. That is terrifying to confront in view. But no, it was fun. And then impromptu, because of reasons, me and Lauren then went to this Oktoberfest that was going on in the town over, which was not Oktoberfest. It was just a carnival with beer. It was
as a German who is not a Bavarian, I couldn't tell you the difference between a carnival with lots of beer and Oktoberfest.
But no, I mean, we went. I got bratwurst. It was great. I got a bratwurst and a beer. They ran out of the actual Oktoberfest beer, so I had to get a fucking IPA, which I have very strong opinions on, but it was okay. It made me ambivalent. But I wasn't going to not have a beer in something called Oktoberfest. What are you? Not adapting to social norms?
Totally.
But we had that. We met dogs. There was this lovely person who had 2 cavies in a stroller. They were very cute.
Oh wait, so I have a picture of those at hand.
Yes.
Bam.
I sent that to you. It's saying like, look, there's 2 more Laurens. Look at those handsome lads.
Funny, because it is true.
They're babies. But then, we kept walking. It was like, man, I'm still hungry. What do I want? Oh, they also have turkey legs. We'll get that. But we stopped by one that was right by these traditional, Bavarian music playing concert that's happening. And they offered a full dinner. So I was like, Lauren, you can get the full dinner. I'll get a turkey leg. They were out of turkey legs. So they just gave me a full dinner at a discount, which was 2 more bratwursts and potatoes and stuff. So I was very filled with sausage that night. But no, it was just a fun little time. We had strudel, and it was fun seeing people go out and have a good time, because apparently the first one of these was in 2019, and then it didn't happen for 2 years. So people were making up. A lot of it was making up for lost time. But PSA from your local Chrissy: if you're going to a fair or a carnival or an Oktoberfest or whatever, and you have an alcoholic beverage, and you feel like you can't finish the beverage, throw it away in an actual trash receptacle. Don't throw it on the ground, leave it on tables for it to inevitably get spilt, or pour it on the ground, as I was seeing people do. If you're going to pour it on the ground, pour it into a plant. At least they have hydration.
Wer Bier verschenkt, wird aufgehängt, as we Germans say.
What does that translate to?
Wer Bier verschenkt, wird aufgehängt. Who spills beer gets hung.
Well, a lot of people were going to get hung that day. Because, wow, there was just so much beer on the ground.
It was American beer, so this is basically like spilling water.
Yeah, but it still stinks. That's my thing. I don't even. I'm not going to grandstand sounding like I stand for ecological standards. I just don't like how smelly and sticky it gets. Like I'm just.
That's what she said.
Look, it is what I said. But look, it's like some people don't like cigarettes because they can damage your body and you get addicted, and the financial investment of smoking a lot of packs a day. Some people don't like them just because they're stinky. That is me with pouring beer everywhere. Beer smells bad. That is my thesis statement there. But yeah, so and then I drove home, and now I'm back. And, I got accepted to Vendit Cider Fest. That also happened. So, hooray. There are other things to be announced, but confidentially, I cannot do that yet. I am under NDAs.
NDA.
Yes. So, Max, you talk about your week.
Yeah, it will not be long, but yeah, I can talk a little bit about it.
I have to go take my medicine. I will be back in a bit.
That. So, my week, I had not too much happening. We were a little bit of a sick bay over here with Denim moving from a cold to now a cough. And me having a little medical thing. Thank you for demonstrating. And me being a little bit under a medical situation. This sounds weird. I had a little procedure, so I also had to keep it slow this week. And one thing that I just got reminded of was, for once, there was an Oktoberfest happening at my office, which I could not partake in because I stayed home that day. However, I got to see the aftermath, which besides being a very cheap-looking banner that just read Oktoberfest still hanging in the office, was like them carrying out the glasses that they had rented for the event. So this is a mass beer. It's a liter of liquid that you can fill in here. They had, for this festival, they had like half-liter ones. So they were basically like, imagine the love child between this size of glass, a little bit more maybe, but trying to be like this. It was a little bit of the colleague who was cleaning up when I was in office on Friday. He pushed this card out and he was like, he was very embarrassed to be seen with cleaning up those kind of steins for an Oktoberfest. I mean, we Germans have standards, but I guess Berlin is too international for those. No, otherwise, not too much did happen. One thing that I was tempted for a moment to actually make my media this week, because after what I assume it's round about 2 years. After round about 2 years, I finally finished Persona 5, my Persona 5 Let's Play, or playthrough. Oh. Not a Let's Play, a playthrough. So, I was in more or less the last dungeon. You can split hairs if there is one after or not, but last stretch of the game. And I believe I played it shortly until we moved, so, or I don't know. I recall that I fell out of playing console a lot after we moved in April of last year. So I probably just stopped. I fell out of it. I didn't get it in my mode to just sit down and play something on the TV. So, yeah, I had not touched it, like, so short for that. I have a 120-hour playthrough. The single playthrough is like 120 hours. I like grinding. Don't judge me. And I just want to say, noobs out there, I finished my first Persona 5 playthrough with maxed out stats and all confidence on level 10. Just saying. That is like gamer right here. Don't give me this side eye, Paleo.
Oh, no, I was looking at like a notification.
It was perfect timing. It was perfect timing. Me dropping this line and you're like,
Like, I don't know anything about Persona. I've never played it.
Too bad that I didn't make it my media. I guess I could still switch over and talk about Persona, but here's the thing. Because I haven't played the majority of it for 1.5 years, I forgot the majority of it, basically got in for just this last battle sequence and a lot of cutscenes for anybody who had played any Persona games. When they're in the story part, it's just like cutscene after cutscene, even though it's just like in-engine and you click the OK button for all the dialogues, and most of them are not even voiced over, so it's just like a visual novel at this point.
That's an RPG.
A JRPG, yes, very much. But hey, they have a lot of good stories, so sometimes a little bit cheesy, but I still was invested, so not complaining. But that's not my media. I just wanted to point out that I finished it, and I'm very proud that it only took me 2.5 years to finish Persona 5, which I started years, like 4 years after it even came out and wasn't the hot shit anymore. I believe, ironically, it was around the time where Royale, whatever, came out, the redone version with an extra character and I guess additional storylines.
Yeah, apparently Royal added a lot of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, there are certain elements in the original one where Denim pointed out to me that apparently they ran out of time. There's like 1 or 2 of the confidants where you don't really get to build up the relationship in the same interactive, polish your relationship and do shit together in your free time kind of things. Where it's like, yeah, this felt a little bit like, they might have run out of time, and that's why you just get the advancing confidant level dropped on you through story plot points instead of interactions. But I don't think I'm going to pick up Royal because I am too much of a perfectionist. It will take too long.
Yeah.
But yeah, other things, otherwise, I don't think a lot really happened this week. What did I do yesterday? Oh, yeah, right. I believe it was actually yesterday where I finished that. For that... Yeah, it was a pretty chill and quiet week. I guess no point in stretching it out anymore. Let's move on to media, I guess. We can... Oh, I hear noises. This was either perfect timing or...
Hello.
Whoop. Hello. Let me make it visible again. Hi. Either this was perfect timing or you were sneakily listening in. But yeah, because we are moving on to media.
No, perfect timing. I have to have my medicine with food, so I was eating curry.
Nom nom nom.
I won't eat on stream completely, but I do want to have a little bit more.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Don't worry. Don't worry. I mean, I can keep you off camera if you want to be able to go all nom nom nom.
I mean, the thing is, my hatred of people eating while they're streaming is not seeing them eat. Seriously. I mean, I see people eat every day. It's the sounds.
Yeah.
And my mic picks up a lot. And sorry, I had to edit a video this week where I had to cut out a bunch of potato chip eating noises. I don't want to be a hypocrite here, and then people having to hear me chew Thai curry, because I'm sure everyone loves hearing
Keyframe's food ASMR coming live to you on Sundays.
I was just thinking, I was like, wait, Saber doesn't eat chips while he's recording. Like, that must not be him.
Keyframe is an editor for too many channels by now. Is she talking about this or about this one?
Who am I smack talking today? No, it's not Saber. Saber's at least a good enough.
Yeah, Saber doesn't eat while it records.
No, here's the thing now. You're going to be a little sneaky boy and go up to Saber, being like, "Hey, Steve.
Oh, that is a great idea. I didn't even think of that. Thanks for the idea.
So I was on a podcast with Chrissy, and I know you have to record some stuff for her to edit soon. Want to know something that would be really fucking funny? Take this can of Pringles and go hog wild. See if she says anything."
But no,
So I'm guessing you were talking about Persona, given that I just saw a bunch of Persona stuff in the chat.
Yeah, because after 2.5 years, I finished it yesterday.
Were you underwhelmed?
No. It was like it actually was like because I got a lot of stuff and it's like, oh, New Game Plus has additional stuff. Since I started playing the game like 2.5 years ago, I forgot all the beginning and now I'm actually playing it from the beginning in New Game Plus.
Good job.
I'm also playing Stardew Valley for the 3rd time, which I have never finished. So that's another thing. But yeah, those are all not my media.
How do you finish Stardew Valley?
Getting all the content, I guess?
That's just achievement hunting. That's not finishing.
No, not even achievement hunting. I have never met the witch. I don't think there is an achievement for the witch, but I know there's a witch and I have not met her. I didn't get there, so I haven't gotten everywhere.
I've met the witch.
Yeah, see? So now you have an answer to the question. How do you finish it? You don't... I guess it's less about finishing and more about completing. But
yeah, I consider like finishing a game like if you see the credits, you finished it.
Okay, I don't think
like if there's a credits roll like by the time like you do something, I consider that like, oh yeah, you beat the game if there's a credits roll.
I guess this is a good question. Does Stardew Valley have credit roll at any point? Is there anything you can do, or does it do that? Because I also recall
because there are games that are like never ending, like Animal Crossing.
I believe Stardew Valley is in the same boat. But there is a thing that you get this scoring, I believe, after the 2nd year or something. Spoilers? I don't know. You get a score at some point. How much you got in the period X, I believe.
Wait, can you die?
No, you can't.
No, you're not the granddad that inherited.
I mean, I have seen some of the Let's Players who are in year 2 billion and have collected so much money and everything, which is like, how does it still make fun at this point?
No, see, here's the thing: when you get to year 3,333,333,333, is when it unlocks in the game that you can date everyone and they won't get mad at you.
Polygamy.
Speaking of games,
yeah.
I just got an email, and it was very similar to another email I got of like, oh, we want you for a YouTube ad, and it's like for Stray. I was like, this doesn't look very like a very professional email because like Stray already came out like a couple of months ago, and like the other email I got like earlier in the week was for Hollow Knight Silk Song. I was like, this doesn't look like it's from Team Cherry at all. So there's like a lot of weird like emails like that going around, like being sent to YouTubers. They're like, we'll pay you for an ad, but I think they just want to fish for information. So,
video game fishing, and not the one in Stardew. But yeah, media time. Media
time.
So Paleo.
I was about to say, should Paleo and or I go first and second, so you have a little bit more time to mute yourself and eat without being self-conscious?
You know what? I like that. I like the way you think. I will unmute if I have an opinion.
Obviously. I would ask you to do so. But yeah, okay. Paleo, did you bring us a media to talk about, which might or might not include dinosaurs?
It does not include dinosaurs, because it's about ponies.
Close enough! It's also quadrupedal creatures that might or might not exist.
Yeah.
I guess...
Wait! Are you implying that horses aren't real?
Yeah, wait, what?
We're not
Have you ever seen a horse?
Either here's the thing, either I'm implying that horses aren't real, or if we are going by the logic that they are fantasy creatures, as in like candy colored and talking and whatnot, my implication is that dinosaurs aren't real.
That's even worse.
Think about it.
No.
There is no way out of this for me. Both statements are pretty bad.
Max, they're just they're just different flavors of the same tinfoil hat. One is like the fucking opposite of the creationist theory, tinfoil. The other one is the crazy people that don't believe the moon landing happened. Like, and here's the thing.
Excuse me, Odie. no. This is where I stand up against. This is bullshit. This hashtag Flat Earther ANY. I have seen Minecraft Let's Plays. I know it's a cube. Thank you.
Look, here's just the thing. I could live in a timeline where you sound like just a crazy person, and I could just enjoy the fact you sound like a crazy person.
I mean, what's the difference to the current timeline?
The fact that I know there's people like this unironically, in the fact that there is so many Gen Zers who vehemently believe Helen Keller didn't exist. Or Anne Frank. There are some people that believe Anne Frank didn't actually exist. And I'm just kind of like, oh no. What is happening in schools? What is happening anywhere? I want to live in a timeline where I could just enjoy that someone believes horses aren't real. But there's probably someone who truly believes horses aren't real and are like robots from the government or something to detect cowboys.
No,
there are people who believe birds are robots. Shut up, Paleo!
I mean, I've seen The Incredibles. It's pretty much true. But yeah, media.
I'm going back.
Yeah, you exactly. So media. I assume we are talking G5 Chapter 2.
Yeah. Make your mark. Going back to the pony days right now.
It all comes back. It all goes in circles. But yeah,
it all goes in a circle.
So yes, please talk about it while I try to find a nice representation of your media. Oh Jesus,
yeah.
This is tiny.
So, Make Your Mark, the Chapter 1 premiere, like, Netflix has been really weird about how they're releasing these. Because the premiere came out in May, with Chapter 1. There was like a 44-minute special. People weren't too thrilled by it. It wasn't very exciting, I would say. Especially after we had the Tell Your Tale shorts, and we're like, oh, these are kind of weird. Some people like them, some people don't. But we were like, oh yeah, but we're waiting for like the actual like 3D like full show that's going to be on Netflix. And then when that premiere came out, we were like, some people aren't feeling it too much. And I honestly, I wasn't feeling it too much either. I'm feeling it a bit more with these Chapter 2 episodes. I watched all 8 on Monday when they came out. And I think the show is fine. I do have a lot of criticisms for it though. And I'm working on a video going over this. Because I didn't make a video about the premiere. And I wasn't in Brony's Rag this time because I just felt like I didn't have anything to say about it. But for these 8 episodes, there are things I do like about it, and some things that I think can be improved and everything. And I did a stream earlier in the week talking about Make Your Mark, just like writing it on my thoughts or whatever, and talking to my chat on Twitch. And actually, an animator came in that was from that worked on Make Your Mark, provided some insight. Because one thing I did mention that I think is a detriment to the show is that Netflix and Hasbro have very strict schedules. And the animator that came into the chat kind of confirmed that. It was like, oh yeah, it's super strict for what they have to do. Because when the trailer came out for this, there's a bunch of... Actually, you're about to see one of the errors here. Right here, Misty, her horn's gone. Right there. Like, yeah. Yeah, and also that right there with the phone, there was like an invisible phone. Both of those were fixed in the show. Like, just for some reason, this trailer had a lot of errors in it. And I think it's like somebody who ever like edited the trailer was just using unfinished footage. But like those animation errors were fixed in the show. I think the animation, like, I think it will get better as the show goes along. It tends to happen with like these 3D shows. But like, yeah, the premiere didn't look that great because there's a lot of times where the ponies kind of look tired and everything. But they are... One thing I did learn from the animator that came into my chat was that they are using the same models from the movie. They're just like they don't have like the same kind of like rendering, I guess, or whatever.
They sometimes move very sluggish and slow.
Yeah, and that's another thing is that the animator that came into my chat said that a lot of people that are working on the show, this is their first time working with these models. So they're not like the people who like use them in the movies. Those were different animators. So, and it does seem like, at least from the writing standpoint, it feels like there's a lot of new blood in this show compared to G4, where...
Oh, yeah, when you go on Twitter, you can actually see so many people who say, hey, I'm working on this now, and they point out their names in the credits. A lot of this is their first credit in a major animated project.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
I noticed that with like a lot of the animators. I'm not sure about the writers though, because I did notice that like some writers they had like a bunch of previous things that I looked up for some of the writers, and I that like Jillian Barrow's working on this show, who worked on G4 stuff. But for the writers, I need to look into them a bit more, because it seems like with G4, a lot of the writers on that show had worked on like a bunch of like very highly acclaimed cartoons before. Oh, like Amy Keating Rogers and Ime Larson, they both worked on big like popular cartoons before that were very well received. For this show, I don't recognize a lot of the writers, other than Gian Barrow, who, like I said, worked on G4.
And she's wrote like the Daring Do books, didn't she?
Yeah, and I believe she's like the head story editor, I think, or something like that. But I think the big problem with the show is that there is a lot of expectation, not just from the G4 stuff, but from the movie, because like the movie
was pretty good actually.
Yeah, the movie like started out the generation so well that like anything afterwards would just seem like a downgrade. And I think a lot of people got their hopes up. Like when we started with the new generation movie, it was like, oh yeah, this is great. We got like fantastic voice actors. Well, I mean, they're like celebrity voice actors, pretty much. But I think after we saw that, I was like, oh no, they are not going to have these voice actors for the show. And that does make me wonder, like, why did Hasbro do that in the first place if they knew they weren't going to have the same voice actors? Because apparently, from what I've heard, is that a lot of the voices that were recorded for this show and also like Tell Your Tale were done around the same time as the movie, which makes no sense to me.
I mean, maybe
it's like, why would you do that?
For getting the big, the big shiny flagship to put it out there, to be like, to draw all the people in, and then I mean that's the thing. You get them in with a really good movie, and then you already invested. I mean, I mean, so far I've only seen 2 of the episodes, but I intend to watch the entire chapter 2. Because they got us invested with the first season with the movie, and it worked. I guess it worked. If this would have been the quality writing, voice acting, animation wise in the movie, the buzz
we're not shitting on the voice acting. The voice acting in this show is perfectly fine.
I guess.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
So.
Like I said, it differs because like a lot of the voice actors, like. Were like voicing around, like before like even the movie was released, which is strange. Like and like Syncry said, it's like except for Jenna Warren, who auditioned after the movie.
So. Maybe So maybe it's A, the switch in voices, and B, the material they have to work with. This is sometimes like.
I mean, I see. At least with the Sentry saying in the chat, like. She actually auditioned imitating Vanessa Hudgensson's voice, and then it was the producer told her to be herself. I think we are just like this current generation's just not used to that anymore. But that was a very common thing in cartoons that were adapted from movies. Like, if people are wondering why the characters don't sound like themselves. So voices, there's a personality likeness. So if they got voice doubles for James Marsden, James Marsden, James Marsden, Kimiko, Vanessa, blah, 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 they would have to pay the actors they would have to pay James, Vanessa, and stuff because they're doing active voice doubling of their voice. They have to make it distinct from each other. So if you're wondering why Izzy doesn't sound like Kimiko Glenn, they choose not to do that. They did that with the Ghostbusters for the real Ghostbusters cartoon, where for the most part they had to change how they all sounded so they could be distinct, because then they don't have to pay for likenesses. And likenesses can extend to auditory likeness. Why they let an Egon impression slide through, I don't know. Don't ask me. I don't work for them. But no, the voice acting's perfectly fine. I know some people get graded by Izzy's voice, and I'm just like, it just sounds like a Pinky voice. Maybe you're just sad.
Yeah, but Izzy definitely took the longest for me to like get used to, but I'm used to her now. And I think the Tell Your Tale shorts like help with that. Is like just watching that every Thursday. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm used to these now. So,
yeah.
One thing.
No, go ahead.
Oh, were you gonna continue about like the voice stuff?
Oh no. I was just mumbling. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say the one thing like about the show. There's one character that bothers me the most, and I think you can guess like what it is.
Is it the dragon?
Is it the villain?
It is the dragon.
Little...
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It is the dragon. Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
It's like, and the thing is, like, I've read that, and I'm not sure if it's true, but apparently this is something that Hasbro wanted Spike to be back when G4 started, and I'm thinking like, oh, that makes a lot of sense.
The little infant.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, as much as I love seeing single dad Hitch, you know. Yeah, the baby can take. I could put the baby in a basket down by the river. But, you know.
Yeah.
I go into this show with the feeling that there was. I mean, when you actually look at the stuff that was going around with G4 and how much the writers and the creators and everything had to fight Hasbro for the freedoms that they have.
Yeah.
I go into this show knowing that like they are probably fighting as much as they can, but Hasbro's being a lot stricter because, you know, it's Hasbro and they're heartless monsters.
Yeah.
There's a difference between the creative side and the business side.
But yeah, maybe also, since we have been on it for a bit, Paleo, what would you say is who should check it out, who should not check it out? Recommendations?
I think if you like the movie, like, and you like already like the characters, you might enjoy this or you might not. It really depends. I've seen it being very mixed, like on Twitter and stuff. Like, because there's some people that are like really liking the show, some people who are just like kind of indifferent. But like, as far as like how I feel about it, I think I've been because I watched like the show like all 8 episodes on Monday, and I was like, okay, I don't know if I'll watch it again. Like with G4, after I finished the first season, and because it was like so surprising to me, I just like I immediately like I want to watch that again. But for this is like, oh, I'll keep up with the show and stuff, and I'll keep watching. I'm not sure if I'll rewatch it though, like I have with like other Pony content. Like, because I watched the movie, the New Generation movie, last year, like 4 times in the same day, because like I loved it so much. And like some of the Tell Your Tale shorts, like I've just like put on in the background because they're just like good background noise. But for this show, I think I'm still gonna like give it a chance and everything as it goes forward. And from what the animator said that went into my Twitch chat, she said that Oh yeah, the animation and writing getting better, in my opinion. So
you mean like the first season of My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic? Because if you actually rewatch a lot of the first episodes of the first season, the first half of the first season kind of sucks in comparison to everything else. I'm sorry. I know some people are going to say that I'm a blasphemer. I'm sorry. The first like 5 episodes of season 1 of MLP are kind of mid. I don't know who's watching them with rose-tinted glasses thinking the fucking ticket episode for the Grand Galloping Gala was high art, but it's not. It's infuriating. And you're dumb. The show only got good once we got to the Rarity Dress episode. And even then, I rewatched that recently. That's not as good as I remember. Party of One is when the show actually started to get really fucking good. Y'all are just fucking babies that are acting like people who think the 90s cartoons are the best cartoons of all time. Grow up, go home, watch this pony show. Like, god damn it. Sorry, Paleo, you go on.
Like, I think like the writing and stuff will improve. Right now, I do see, like, it's ironic because like one of the or I guess coincidental, because one of the episodes is called Growing Pains, and that's what I feel like the show is going to be going through for a while. Because like I feel like it's going to feel like this for a while because the first season is chapter 1 to whatever we're having up with the special coming out in November. Then another batch of episodes, then another special, then another batch of episodes, and then the finale. Netflix is really weird about how they're releasing this. They did this with Cuphead too. Where they ordered like a bunch of episodes and they split it into 3 seasons, but there's actually one order of episodes that Netflix had.
You know why they did that, Paleo?
Why?
Read my lips, my very obvious lips. They did it for money because if they actually split it into proper seasons, then the animators and writers could renegotiate contracts based on how popular the show is. If they ordered it all in one batch, then they only have to pay them once. Yeah. Netflix is an evil onceler of a company. Anyways,
like if you're gonna release them in batches like that, like I guess that's where they're calling them chapters. Like then just release it weekly. Like
what?
If
so
like
they
it's
can
actually going to be a season,
up hype and community. No. Why would we ever do that? But yes, so Pony Show, give it a shot. The later episodes are a lot better. I mean, like I really like the Zip It. The Zip and Pip episode is the best episode of the season, in my opinion.
Do anything to make the villain more appealing because she is so children's program villain and ugly as fuck.
She's literally like a Skeletor type villain or whatever. Just like shows up like every episode. That's the one thing that differs from like the G4 stuff is that she's like a recurring villain. Where with G4 we only had like a villain in the beginning and end maybe, except for some of the later seasons.
Hey, Opaline gave us Misty, and I could deal. Yeah,
with Misty's great. That's like the one thing everybody can agree on.
Misty is my daughter, and I love her.
Misty is not a villain. I have only watched 2 episodes, but Misty's first appearance on screen.
I mean, it's very obvious she isn't.
Yeah, she is so 100% to switch sides. It's like
she's adorable. Shut up.
Yeah, but you don't need to put her next to this absolute abomination of an animated character to make her appear adorable. She's adorable on herself. You don't need this foil to make her stand out.
Yes, but how are we supposed to love her if she's not getting constantly berated by Skeletor? Like I need this precious character to get hurt, okay?
I guess that's awkward. Welcome to the post show.
But yes, the Pony Show's gonna get better. It's like the first season of G4. Just let it go.
That is a fun thing I was wondering. Is it just my nostalgia that makes it in comparison weaker? Or is it weaker? I don't know. It has been so many years. So
yeah,
let's rewatch. Let's leave the podcast and rewatch the first season.
The thing is, like,
of Gen 4.
Because I see a lot of people on Twitter saying like, oh, don't compare G4 and G5. I was like, I mean, like it's the same franchise. You can do that. Like we were literally comparing G4 to G3. Like,
yeah, like here, time is a flat circle, and you guys are acting like you guys are just enabling the flat circle, just like the Earth. Like, you are flat.
Yeah, like I don't mind if like people aren't jiving with G5 because like I mean but like with I know Jax has said it before. Is like, oh yeah, there's always going to be another generation. Like it's a franchise. He said he's gone through this with Transformers. There's so many different iterations of Transformers, and with I think a lot of people are just like with G5, the people who watched the movie and didn't like the movie, I mean, they were never gonna like G5.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Bro, yeah, that's a fair point.
Yeah, I think with this is like because the movie set up so high expectations that a lot of people are disappointed.
Yeah, but anyways, this isn't the Pony Show, which means
that
you have to go.
Yep.
Okay, so we're back to normal people land. Hi guys.
Hi.
If you're wondering why my camera violently shook, it's because I got up and I have this chair set on the highest setting so I can appear taller, and it bumped against my table. But yeah, so Max, why don't you talk about your media?
You were just curious to see what it actually is. So,
yes.
I have...
You built it up with the expectation of rant.
Oh my. Yeah, it's not rant, but more like... On the one hand,
Max clickbaiting me again.
I know, right?
Okay.
No, I have things to say about it, but they're not all negative.
Okay.
So I got into. I mean, I can talk a little bit more about G5 if you want to hear me go negative.
No.
So I got a little bit into reading comic books digitally.
Okay.
I have done this before. I talked about comic books before, and I picked up instead of webtoons, I picked up I just went through. Wait, I just realized I properly actually talked about The Boys on the show, but yeah, I now picked another one up after The Boys. And I made it my way through it to the current date because it's an ongoing series. And I am talking about not the anime, but the manga of Made in Abyss.
Oh, shit.
That was a reaction right there.
I literally finished season 2 last night of the anime.
Here's the funny thing. I have of the anime to date, I have only seen season 1. I still need to watch the movies. I believe it's like season 1.
You only need to watch the one movie.
Yeah, exactly. I believe it's like season 1.
Because the first 2 movies are a
recap of season 1. Yeah. Then the third movie you actually have to watch.
Yeah, you gotta because that like actually continues the story.
And then there comes season 2.
Yeah,
that is not confusing at all. Thank you, Made in Abyss anime adaptation people. But nevertheless, so I watched the first season of the anime. I was like. Maybe I should quickly. I believe I even talked about it on this show, but it's literally years ago.
You did talk about it and how like Japanese humor. This show does not vibe with American taste.
German. Anyways,
Western taste. How about that?
Okay, now we're on the same boat again.
Blah 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 blah.
So just as a quick recap, if you have no idea what Made in Abyss is, it's a story about those...
it's a happy story about people going on adventures in a big hole. That's all it is.
That is one fantastic way to describe it. So it is a lolly adventure... Like, sorry. No, it's not lolly. I mean, she is a lolly, but what's the name of the art style? Moe. Okay,
because I was about to say, if you're saying lolly, that has other implications about this.
Moe. I mean, there is far too much sexuality going on with those Moe characters who are, at least in Riko's case, definitely underage.
Mm-hmm.
And the manga is worse. Anyway, so to recap. Recap. So, it's a moe, adventure, body horror, cosmic horror,
existential
horror, fun show. It is, you see this cutie art style, and this cutie art style remains. But the story escalates very quickly. I mean, credit where credit is due. I guess the manga clears you in a lot faster than you're
I've heard the manga's way worse. Like as far as like
so
intensity goes.
Yeah. Here's tiny spoilers, so there isn't okay, I can actually phrase it in a non-spoilery way.
As long as you don't go past what season 2's done.
No problem.
It's
It's happening in season 1. A character gets an injury.
And that injury.
And that fucking injury. So in the anime, it's like, oh god, and you look away, and that is fine because you then you hear still what's going on. I'm not sure, I can't remember how bad the sound editing is. If it's actually as disgusting to hear.
There's a lot of cracking.
So, but you have at least the chance to look away and be like, okay, la, and it just goes by. In the manga, you don't have this. You need to see like, oh yeah, next page. Oh god, it's still got the next page. Oh, why? So
I love that.
If you are squeamish, okay, I guess you're already getting a little bit into the part of, oh boy. But here's the thing. Why I read it up to date and will continue reading it, because this. I talked about abusive media, having an abusive relationship with media before, didn't I? But in this case, it's different. It's different like the MCU that is just based on that is just wrapping you in. Also, is Wolfhead here for the bingo card? I guess somebody just got a bingo. No, it's... The thing is, there is an interesting story here, and there's fantastic world building, and if you are into this more horror stuff, it's like there is some really, really intriguing shit going on. So there is something that keeps you going, and there is a constant progress, because there is this abyss, which is the entire thing, as Pilou...
Which is made of? Made in.
Yeah, I was about to say. It's also funny. I to this point, I'm wondering what it is about. Is Reg made in Abyss, or is Rico made in Abyss? Because technically they are both kind of in their own different ways made in the Abyss, but now they're going back in. So I'm not 100% sure what the title is, what the title is referring to. But yeah, there's this Abyss, which is, as Paleo correctly described, a big hole in the ground, and people climb into the hole.
And nothing bad happens.
Hey. And yeah, the hole is like full of monsters, shitty people, and if you try to climb back out, you die, depending on how low you are. So climbing up, the deeper you are,
once you go past a certain layer, is like there's no coming back.
Yeah, there's literally no coming back. There's a curse in there, and if the curse keeps you from going up. And if you just forget about the curse and climb a few stairs, you're dead. Literally happens to a character. A character forgets about the curse, climbs stairs, and falls apart and turns into mush. Body horror, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh boy.
Yes. So, but here's the thing. Besides being gross, that is not even the problem. It's horror, it's brutal from the beginning. Where my problems are, where I'm like, can I even in good conscience recommend this show? Or at least give glaring disclaimers and warnings. And again, the manga probably worse than the show. Because, as it is, simple example from Naruto. That is one way to go. But it's something long ago that maybe more people are familiar with. Maybe the current audience is, at this point, not anymore familiar with Naruto. In Naruto, there's this one scene where a character gets super scared and they're just sitting there paralyzed. And in the anime, that's just all there is. In the comic, in the manga, there is a puddle under her because she is so freaked out, she empties her bladder. This is just something that this kind of stuff gets cut for anime. In a black and white manga, you get away with a lot more stuff than you do in an animated full-color, high-definition anime. In Made in Abyss, there is... I have the feeling the author is trying to get a lot of his fetishes in there, and he has this great epic fantasy, but he just can't stop including all his fetishes.
He's definitely into gore.
Gore fetish? Or, I mean, he is into gore, but not in a sexual way.
That's a thing. Like,
really?
That is a thing.
sexually being into gore.
Probably.
Huh.
He probably is.
Well, okay.
Like body horror stuff. Like people get off on that.
Could be. But no, he has those moe characters, where even later there is another character introduced who I guess is supposed to be an adult woman, but she just looks so moe. I cannot tell her apart, barely tell her apart, age-wise, from Rico, who is supposed to be, what is it, 12, 13? Barely hitting puberty.
Vueko? Is that the name of the
the lady from the former expedition.
Yeah, she does look a lot older in the anime, at least.
Again, the difference, the manga makes everything worse about it. But yeah, there is already in the anime. I recall that when I watched it, I was very uncomfortable with the sexual tones that they do. Like even in the fucking opening. In the fucking opening of the anime, what Rico does is she jumps Reg with her crutch first to jump. She's probably completely unaware and ace about it. I mean, she's lit. She probably hasn't even hit puberty yet. But yeah, she basically sends her crutch in his face every single opening, and every single opening is like, oh. And he appears uncomfortable. He is aware what is going on. She might be ignorant about it, but he's like, oh no, this is so uncomfortable. The manga is worse.
Oh my god!
The
tagline for this is just, it gets worse.
The manga is worse. So in the first chapter, basically, so there's a punishment that got thankfully cut from the anime. For those children in the orphanage where Rico starts her journey is like hanging up naked. And they basically get hung up from the ceiling in rope, which just can be described as BDSM roleplay, naked, publicly, in the build. Yes, and there's a picture of it. It's like, okay. Make this character obviously older. And we can talk about it. But don't hang this moe, which is literally a child, up like this. No, thank you.
Is it censored?
I don't think you see anything directly.
Okay.
Like you, the angle, and then there's a character in front of it, so you don't see genitals. But still.
We are teetering on a line here. Like, this is a tightrope.
Yeah. And then just... This is basically very late, kind of spoilery. But I don't say any details. It's about the characters. There's a lot of fantastic characters. And Rico is a very scientific, investigative mind. And one of the and Rico is like checking out this fantastical character, and it's like, oh, in your crutch you only have one hole. Does your digestive work as in birds? And the other character is like, do you want to sniff it? And Rico is like, oh yes! And Rico buries her nose in this orifice. And it's like, it smells like cinnamon. And the other character is like a proud cat, like super proud smile. And I read this and I was like, why? Why? Why am I reading this? Why do I continue?
Why are you... Yeah, there's a question. Why are you still reading it?
The world building is good and character designs are good and...
the character designs are good as you're seeing them tied up as they're tying up underage children and sniffing cat cooch. Like... The tagline here is, I'm judging you fiercely for continuing to read it.
Denim read it too. She knows what I can
judge. I can judge her too. I can judge everyone for Made in Abyss.
I judge the author because here's the thing: he has so much talent, but if he
you
only
read it, you're enabling him.
He might or might not have gotten any money from me reading it. Anyways, so there's the thing. There's such a great story. If the guy could just keep his fucking fetishes out of it. But I guess there is a thing, if you already write a manga for an adult audience, why hold back, am I right? So that's the thing, I cannot recommend it, but I cannot not recommend it, because there is good shit in there. I would just say, have been on the internet at least for a decade, so that you have seen everything and don't get easily upset.
If you have no sense of ethics or morality, you could still read it.
Yeah, it's a journey, all right. Metaphorically and in the actual
anime. One thing the anime does have over the manga is that both like it's less intense than the manga. It still gets very intense at times.
I mean, it has to give the story.
But also, the anime has fucking fantastic music. Kevin Penkin, the composer for the show, I don't know like how they found him, but like he makes some incredible music. Like it fits the anime very well.
Yeah, I mean, I heard from... This is how I originally became aware of the show, that Gigak talked about it, and Gigak was also praising especially the music to high heavens, and was like, I just hear this opening theme and I think adventure, and I'm like, yeah! And I'm like, well, okay, Gigak has good things to say about it. I mean, mine and his taste don't always overlap 100%. I guess I can link Gigak's video on Made in Abyss down there. I guess my recommendation would be watch the anime first, because there's also a thing, it's so hard to follow. The manga is so fucking hard to follow at times, because I'm not sure if it's the translation that I'm reading that is bad, but sometimes the characters talk super disjointed and are like,
Season 2, the thing is, like, with Season 1 of Made in Abyss is like, it seems like it's kind of simple. There's still a lot of talking in Season 1. But like as they're going down is like the Abyss is like, oh yeah, this makes sense of like what they're trying to accomplish right now.
Mm-hmm.
Season 2, like after the movie, because like the movie's also very focused because there's like this one villain that they're going against.
I assume the Hand of Dawn.
Yeah, it's Bondrewd.
Lord of Dawn.
Yeah.
And the whistle is a hand.
Yeah, but then like with Season 2. It's like about this village, and it's like it gets very complicated. I'm like, what's going on? Like,
but add to this that sometimes it's they don't really finish their thoughts, and it's just cutting wildly within their dialogue.
Yeah.
And you are like, is there something missing? I'm not sure if they got this better in the anime, but yeah. And often enough, the scenes, I don't understand what happens from one panel to the next, because it's so much in a panel, but I'm not sure how a still standing media can be overwhelming, but it kind of is.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my recommendation, watch the anime. If the anime is already getting too much for you, stay away from the manga. Do get a restraining order against the manga so that it cannot enter your life. Stay safe.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
The artist that made this manga did the art for Elebits. Remember that game on the Wii?
Doesn't ring a bell, sorry. Then again, I didn't really.
People in the chat might.
Yeah. But we talked.
But yeah, he used to work for Konami. He was an artist.
Oh. But yeah, we now talked about two media far too long. Key, what about you? What did you bring to the show?
Audience, you get to pick what I talk about. Do you want me to talk about Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, the TV show? Or do you want me to talk about Hocus Pocus 2? You're going to get positive opinions about both of them.
And in the meantime, I guess we can talk about the art of the week.
Yeah. I wish I was that buff.
Work in progress. Also, you gotta love. Okay, can I make it out? Because
yeah, can I just say like why there are two people copying a feel in this, and then like Lauren's just floating.
Yeah, Lauren is floating. I believe I'm on
my shoulder.
I'm on your other shoulder.
No, you are not on my other shoulder. My shoulder's up here. You're gripping to the titty.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, let me get this bigger for myself. I mean, I guess I can zoom in if I actually open it. Wait, where is it? So we can all check out the details. Oh no, come here. Ugh. Why are you?
The details.
Oh no! Oh god! I'm afraid you are right. So, zooming in further. So we have a very
so Derek, the unimpressed Derek on my head.
Like,
perfect.
So we have Golden, who is just like
which is so not reflective of reality. Let me just say that.
I believe this is Robin. Isn't
that's
it?
That is Robin.
Robin 0928.
Yeah, she's just vibing.
Robin just vibing, then yeah, I guess, yeah, this is not the shoulder. You are right.
Yeah, you're all kissy face.
Oh,
like,
and this might be shifty eyes that I'm doing here. That this is like shifty eyes inside, like ooh.
Ooh.
Okay,
You jealous? Wolfhead's just in there.
Wolfhead is Lauren.
And Lauren. Wee! Holding Zenigata's hat.
Okay, makes sense.
Because of course. And then there's Galaxy, the artist.
And I didn't even notice that Galaxy gave herself little Nagatoro thingies, assuming that it is...
Galaxy likes Nagatoro. I have seen their fan art. But yes, I like this art. Thank you very much. Question, because this is a redraw of 2 previous years of artwork that they have done of me with like the buff thing. Why do you draw my boobs bigger every year? Because I hate to disappoint people, but there's not a lot going on here in reality. Like, just saying, this is very much you're gonna get disappointed. It looks a lot right now because I'm literally wearing a compression thing, so it just kind of squeezes outwards. But sadly, no. I don't got a lot going on in the booba area. It looks like that because I have a very wide rib cage. So I'm just shaped like a barrel.
Oh, Odie makes a good point. Those are probably just pecs.
I mean, if pecs are boobs, then fucking Johnny Bravo's got the biggest gazongas out of anyone.
He is a double D, all right.
Which, no, that's another cartoon, Max. There's a double D in another cartoon. Sorry. Also, yes, I am wearing this because yesterday Cartoon Network turned 30 years old. There are some people in this audience who is younger than Cartoon Network existing. I don't like that.
I believe even on this call.
Yeah. Paleo, how old are you and what's your social security number?
I'm 33.
Okay,
so I'm older than Cartoon Network.
Oh. Wait, I'm younger than
Yeah, you're the young one.
Girl.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I am constantly the Undertale cafe surrounded me with unironic Gen Z people. So I felt very old. Like, there was one person in front of me, bless their hearts, I don't know their pronouns, but like they were very TikTok. That is the only way I could describe it. Very violently TikTok. And I felt myself aging. But yes, thank you for the art. Great pics of character placement. Sure. Tag yourself. I mean, someone in this call can tag themselves. There are apparently shifty eyes on my tit. But yes. So I think everyone said, don't hug me, I'm scared, because people haven't watched Hocus Pocus 2 yet.
Sure, let's go with that.
I mean, my basic opinion of Hocus Pocus 2, it's fun, it's good, it's always great to see the Sanderson sisters. If you did not watch Hocus Pocus 1 or grow up with it, you may find it too cheesy. But you should know going into Hocus Pocus 2 that it's going to be cheesy.
Is it still making fun of virgin boys?
No, it made fun of a virgin girl.
Progress? Question mark.
Well, no. Okay, well, it didn't make fun of a virgin, really. They were like, there was a character who gave the character the black flame candle to light up so the Sanderson sisters can come back, and he's like, well, you need a virgin to light it up, and I'm not one. What do you mean you're not one? Not one. Ah, gross, man. But it was a fun movie. I had a good time watching it. I'm sorry, I'm getting "Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared" visual up. But the only thing is sometimes I don't know how to say this. Sometimes the camera quality shifts in Hocus Pocus 2, where it feels like they used a not movie grade camcorder. But I think the movie was also shot on digital, so it just sometimes looks weird. But yeah, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about something that I've been hyped for like 4 years. And that is Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, the series. So, If anyone has been on the internet for a significant amount of time, you remember the Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared internet puppet cartoons, which were these little shorts that were named like Time, Creativity, and everything like that, with these three guys, Red, Yellow, and Duck, who would learn something new from an inanimate object, and then it would slowly twist into something morbid and everything. And it could be a commentary on children's entertainment and how it force feeds you things that are actually not okay. And they were making a show for this for a long time. And it finally came out on Channel 4, which is the, the UK kind of thing. And so naturally, since they didn't have an international release yet planned, everyone pirated it. So that's how I watched it. But I will watch it when it goes on a streaming service. But yeah, it is a puppet show, and I really like it. I love psychological horror. And not only does this achieve what I wanted as being like creepy, psychological, builds up the tension, it's also a lot funnier than I thought it would be. Like it has some good comedy in there, very British comedy. So very dry. If you don't like dry British comedy, you're not going to get too much of a laugh out of it, but I had a good time. But yeah, they have some episodes, like the first episode is them getting jobs in an office thing, and then it like kind of does a time jump where like all except one character is actually thrusted 40 years in the future. It turns out they wasted their entire lives at the company. And that they were just part of this assembly line and all that. Other episodes, there's the inanimate object that's like, hey, I'm going to teach you about going to work and having a job. But yeah, I think the show looks great. Everything has like this felt texture, which I love. I love the attention to detail there. Sorry, the peak of my humor is random things getting shoved around. It's all performed really well. I know some people who've watched the original series may not like that sometimes the red guy is not the logical one, because he was always the straight guy in the original shorts. But it's a show. Like, these things are 22-minute episodes, so you have to like make sure it switches around, like who is whom, because that's just natural. But I really enjoy it. I think my favorite episode is their episode about death, which literally opens up with them all sitting in chairs and the duck going, "Oh, it looks like I'm dead," and he points to his own obituary in the paper. And a living coffin comes out, just being like, "Yep, it's time for your funeral." And the rest of the episode is the other two dealing with grief, and then the duck just annoying the shit out of the coffin while he's buried alive. Being like, "I'm bored. Can we go home?" "No, this is where you are now. This is your eternal rest." It's a very particular kind of humor. It's a very particular kind of horror where you just feel uncomfortable the entire time waiting for something to happen. And that's my favorite thing. I like feeling uneasy. So I recommend this show to anyone. There are some gore moments in this. This episode in particular, there is a moment at the end where someone's hand gets caught in a conveyor belt. And it's bloody. But, you can look away and not be a fucking baby. You know who I'm talking to. But, like, I think this show's a lot of fun.
I have a nice manga for you to read.
I think people would like this. There's definitely, I guess if you didn't like the original Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared shorts, you might not like it. But if you like British comedy, if you like psychological horror, and you like puppets, I know the third one is the most divisive of all. I think you'd like this. All the episodes are up on YouTube. Like, there's full uploads everywhere now. I don't know when they're going to be releasing them internationally, but when they are, support it, obviously. There's 8 episodes, all 22 minutes. A story slowly builds from it. I think it has a very consistent quality. Probably the most consistent out of everything we've talked about in media this week. So,
nice.
Yeah, Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. Two very puppety thumbs up. And go watch the original shorts on YouTube if you haven't already.
I was about to say, is checking out the original shorts a good starting point for people?
To get a to get a taste of what the style of the shows are, yeah, but you don't need, besides Easter eggs that pop up in the show, like the clock is in their living room from the Time episode. You don't need to. They firmly place it in its own kind of reality. Okay. But I do think like people should watch the original shorts just to get a taste of this is what you're getting into. I mean, the original Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared short had someone taking a real ass heart and rolling it around in glitter. Just saying. But I also think like it is fun to watch the original ones, then watch the show and see how this has evolved from 3-minute shorts to full-blooded TV show. So I just really like that. So yeah, Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. 2 thumbs up.
And with that, since we already talked about the Art of the Week, is this going to be a lightning round?
Well, let's see. I haven't looked at the questions yet. Did we get any on Twitter?
We did get questions on Twitter. So let's, I guess, kick it off with good old J-Rock and the Would You Rather. Would you rather live in a new country every month or never go on vacation again? Ow, that's a brutal one. All expenses paid.
Wait, repeat that?
Would you rather live in a new country every month? So, would you rather live in a new country every month or never go on vacations again?
What qualifies as a vacation?
Probably.
Like if I'm going to a convention. Yeah, does that count as a vacation?
Unless it's literally a job. But I don't think it is for you necessarily.
I mean, he could get stuff compensated if he's a guest. So
yeah, like if I'm a guest, that.
I
mean, if you're going to a convention and you're running panels and stuff, that does lean more in towards work. But yeah, anything where you're just like, I'm going to Lake Tahoe for a week, yeehaw, like no. But that also just means you can never go visit your family because that's technically a vacation. Say goodbye to Thanksgiving, like or to like Christmas.
I mean, my family lives around me, so.
Well, so I'm just saying, fine. Like, you know, if you have to go out of town to see, like, go to Christmas time with the fam, you know, you can't spend a weekend going to amusement parks again. I guess I'd rather just live in another country every month.
Well, the thing is, like, eventually you're gonna, like, do the countries repeat? Like,
I mean, there's only so many countries in the world.
It said new country every month. So do you just, like, after you go to every one, you just repeat?
God, it feels like the fucking platform movie on Netflix where sometimes
and then is it like a wheel? You just spin the wheel for see what country you're gonna land in. It's like, please be somewhere nice, and then you get North Korea.
Yeah, because it's like you can either be in the fucking UAE in Abu Dhabi, and all expenses paid, or you could be in fucking bumfuck nowhere Utah. Like, there's just... Yes, Utah is a country in this case, but point being, I'm just saying, if you're told to stay in America for a month, I assume the states also randomly picked. Countries are big.
Yeah, yeah. But I guess the idea is, like, you have to, around the globe, be ping-pong from location to location.
But that's just the thing. Like, here's the thing. I could live in a different... Like, where I live and where I sleep, fine. But... I like to go see people and do things. So, like, going on vacations and stuff, I kind of need to. There are just certain things in my life where traveling is a necessity. And if I could never do that again and then put the burden on someone else to come over here to see me, that feels mean. And also, that also just seems counterintuitive to my happiness. So, yeah, I'm going to go on the moving thing, man.
Mm-hmm. Hey, what about you?
If it if what I asked about, like, vacations, Stan, like if like a convention, like if I'm like a community guest at a convention, and that doesn't count as a vacation, then I'd probably never go on vacation again, I guess.
You would rather stay in a place. No, wait. Yeah, wait.
Also, what constitutes as a vacation if like you just start driving, like, and just to go somewhere is like does it like reset you? Like,
once the gas runs out, you're right back.
It's it's a very abstract one for sure. But yeah, either
Fun
you're
fact.
locked in place, you're locked in a location, or you are forced to pitch around. Ping pong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun fact, there's an episode of Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, the show that tackles this exact concept.
Interesting. But yeah, I guess my episode, I'm probably... I mean, here's the thing. Here's what makes this a good Would You Rather. Both answers suck.
They do.
Yeah.
I mean, often enough, it's like, hey, two nice things and you have to pick one. No, here both sucks.
Yeah, because if you get a country where it's like, oh, this is like a dictatorship, like you got to stay there for a month.
I could just stay in my house. Stay in my house. But like, there's just too much necessity with travel, especially when you have like friends and loved ones in other area codes, and it's like, man. Well, if I can't go on any vacations again, I guess the only thing would be like you pay people to come see you. But that's the other thing. What does that mean about staycation? Well, what about staycations? Staycations are also vacations. You just get ejected from your fucking house and you have to float.
I guess it's I believe the contrast really is like being stuck in one location versus absolutely stuck in one location versus not being able to stay in one location. And
fine, but yeah. So,
I might have to go. I guess it's a tricky one for social reasons, but I believe I would I get more unhappy permanently if I would be uprooted constantly.
I mean, you get new experiences every month, I guess. Like, there is a way to spin the moving every month positively.
I might still lean towards staying in place option, but they both suck, so...
They both suck. Have fun draining your bank account so people can come see you, because Lord knows that there are people who are going to be like, okay, pay my flight.
Then, Discord question.
Next question. Ah, God, that fucking sucked. Good job. Okay. Breaking Thermodynamics asks, what is the silliest reason for an argument you've seen? I'm going to extend this to, what's the silliest reason for an argument you've had with someone? Because I like to personally incriminate ourselves. I have one, and it involves Max.
You were the one with the soup. Or the coffee. His coffee is soup.
No. This is not an argument based off my dumbass hypotheticals. This is you being stubborn. So we were watching an anime called Thermoroma because we watched TV shows together.
Yeah.
This fucking one. So and like there was a joke that was like, oh, the manliest people exist in Greece, and I was like, yeah. They were like, oh, you're a sissy boy, all this stuff in the anime. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm sure that everyone was being totally manly, having gay sex in the Acropolises. And Max was like, oh yeah, all the one Acropolis in Greece, while we're watching this Italian anime, him pushing up his glasses, being like, I am smarter than you, Chrissy. And I was like, there were more than just one Acropolis, Max. No, there wasn't. It was like, an Acropolis is just a place, Max. Yeah, that would be me saying every skyscraper in the world is the Empire State Building. That is what Max said. And then we looked it up. I was like, oh yes, there are Acropolises in Greece, but an Acropolis is just any fortified mountains. He was like, wait, what? Yeah, look, the Wikipedia even says there's some in like South America and things. And then I can hear him typing on the computer and just him grumbling. This isn't right.
But there's also a specific one. When you say the Acropolis, then there's a specific one that people think of. Which is, of course, a building of the type of Acropolis, which I now learn is a type of building.
Yes, and that was what I was referring to as the type of building. But the funniest thing about this in retrospect is Max was so adamant on proving me wrong before we got to the definition. He was to the point of being a genuine asshole. And then I had to link him the definition. He was just, that should be right. Like, to kill the argument. And I just find that to be the most hilarious, because I think that's one of the worst arguments we've ever had, is about fucking Acropoli. Like, which says something about me and him, but also, it was so fucking stupid. But I love that one. So that's my answer. What about you, Paleo? What's the silliest reason for you being in an argument?
You lost.
I know there's some, but I'm just blanking on what they would be.
I'm sure it has to be something horse related.
No, that's that's not what I was thinking of. Because I know I've argued with Nesca before, the PNG tuber I was telling you about earlier, about like what is the most efficient way to start a turf war in Splatoon, is like whether going for the middle or just like inking the home base first, and we'd argue about that. That's pretty petty. But other than that, I can't really think of anything right now. I'm sure I've had stupid arguments with Sabro before about, like, petty stuff.
Let's just call him and be like, hey, what's the dumbest argument you've ever had with me? Oh, let me count the ways. I'm Saberspark. You know, that's how Saber talks. A little known fact, he always has to state who he is at the end of every sentence. In case he forgets.
It's true. As an editor of his, you can confirm now that it's quite the pain.
Oh, yeah. Basic... Yeah.
Yeah, you thought cutting out chip crunching noises out of audio is annoying. Having to go through Saber's audio and cutting out the Saberspark at the end of every sentence, boy, that's tiring.
Yeah, you know, he'll just go like, man, being Puppy Cat was disappointing. I'm Saberspark. And then you'll just hear him in the background doing a sick kickflip on a skateboard, as he always does, and I have to be like, okay. All right, cut that to the next sentence. Oh, you know... The animation's nice. At least I'm Saberspark. You know, he does another sick kickflip. That's the life of being a Saberspark editor. I really hope he doesn't watch this clip.
Well, guys, you know what you have to clip and send to @Saberspark?
I'll tell him to eat some chips the next time we record something for you.
But yes, Max, you've been in silly arguments.
Yes,
before.
I have been in silly arguments, but I had to think like, okay, which one can I bring up that's not a complete mood killer because it's with people with idiotic real life opinions. But I remember that I had an amazing idiotic, also tangentially related to the Art of the Week by AWKWARDCast being kind of part of the entire thing. The entire debate the thing is, fucking Wolfhead chickened out of it. I was like, let's have a debate about it.
Don't toy with me, Miss Nagatoro is more wholesome than Komi can't communicate. Change my mind. Oh no. Oh no.
I stand by it by being also caught up to the Nagatoro manga. I'm not caught up to Komi, and I have to say, Season 2 actually introduces a little bit of wholesomeness back into it. But Jesus fucking Christ, after... Anyways, you see...
We're not media anymore, Max.
There is an argument there. And I personally... The fact that people like Wolfhead believe that Komi might be the more wholesome one, that's a very stupid argument. Just wanna point that out.
Good. Yeah, well, there's your answers there. Is it all on Discord?
No. We have more on. Question, Keyframe. Are you under... do you have
I am not
permission?
Under
are you allowed, permitted, whatever, to talk about upcoming Saberspark videos?
No.
I thought so. So, Waddles, she cannot and will not answer the question which other bizarre or creepy things she has seen that has yet to be released. So
oh, well, okay, here, I can explain some totally real things that I have witnessed and heard of things I'm working on for Saberspark. These are 100% totally real.
I see.
So, Saber has a video coming out, which is him just doing a tier list of his favorite spaghettis. And when the other editors told him, Saber, you know that they're called pastas, not spaghettis. There's only one spaghetti. He went over to Tommy's house, got us all on a call, and started just slapping Tommy. And we were like, "No, stop it! Stop it! You're hurting him!" And you know, Tommy is just like, "Help! No more, please, no, Steven, no!" And Saber's just like, "Does anyone want to argue about spaghettis anymore?" And that's the video I have to edit now.
You know what's you know what makes this story fake?
Yeah.
Is the fact that Tom would call Saber Steven. That's the only reason.
they move beyond the first name basis and are on nicknames only, I assume.
Yeah, that's like my entire friend group. Is like we go by nicknames.
Yeah, but like, you know.
Yeah, hashtag relatable.
And, you know, fucking, in the audio I'm editing of Saber's tier list of spaghettis, he occasionally just stops to eat spaghetti. And that's so weird, because when he said
I'll tell him to do that the next time he records.
It showed a WAV file, but then video would just pop up of him making prolonged eye contact while eating the spaghetti. I don't know whether to include it or not in the video. I messaged him asking, is this footage you want me to use? And all he kept just sending were more pictures of spaghetti. That's not a yes or no, by the way, Saber. I hope you know this. But yeah.
So, yeah, I'm now not sure, after we already went on an answer to that question. I was about to say, Waddles, we cannot answer that question, so let me go for your other one.
Yeah,
I guess the other one is more topical given your T-shirt, so I guess we can say something about it. Yesterday was Cartoon Network's 30th birthday on October 1st. What's your guys' favorite or most memorable, your favorite or memorable shows? It doesn't have to be one; it could be all of them. So yeah, your favorite Cartoon Network shit.
Oh, my favorite cartoon. I mean, I could be basic and say Samurai Jack, but
the boring one.
Well, you find it boring because you have a short baby attention span. This is why we haven't. This is why we haven't watched Primal yet. Is because I'm just too afraid he's going to get bored during it because people don't talk. Yeah, we started watching
dinosaurs.
I didn't find it actually boring, but it's funny to pretend, because it's like, yeah, it's not my cup of tea.
It's because they don't talk during a lot of it. He's just like, I gotta do something while I'm watching this. And
Genji's cartoons are very cinematic.
Yeah, and Max is not a cinematic boy. He is a straight-to-DVD boy.
Ouch. Given what Disney straight-to-DVD sequels look like, I take offense to this statement. But I have seen some of them.
Max. You are a solid Lion King 1.5. You are the apex of straight-to-video movies. Lion King 1.5 is amazing. What are you talking? Why are you shaking your head?
I like Lion King 2 because characters are like Kovo.
Yeah, Lion King 2 is great.
1.5, I was like...
All the Lion King sequels are great.
This is so stupid with Timon and Pumbaa sitting in the cinema. And you actually declared this your favorite scene, so...
Yeah, because it's Mystery Science Theater.
One of us is objectively wrong, and
are we talking about Cartoon Network?
That it might be me.
Oh yeah, we're talking about... Hey, back to our answers of what's the silliest arguments we've ever had. But no, my favorite Cartoon Network shows... I mean, classic era Cartoon Network, probably... Samurai Jack or Ed, Edd n Eddy. I grew up with those, but I think my favorite modern one is either like Steven Universe, and I'm putting Future in there too, or Mao Mao. Mao Mao is so good.
Yeah, Mao Mao's great. I want them to release season 2. Like, it's been done.
They're just holding it hostage.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah. My answer is Ed, Edd n Eddy, Mao Mao, and Steven Universe. There's more, but, you know, we only have so many hours in the day.
Yeah, I like Powerpuff Girls is like my favorite Cartoon Network show. Second favorite's Adventure Time. I love both those shows to death. I also really like Regular Show. Primal recently, which, I mean, it's on Adult Swim, which is part
Oh, yeah.
Cartoon
Do
Network.
We count Adult Swim shows? Because...
Yeah, I would count Adult Swim shows since it's like it's part of the network.
Oh, then Moral, Oral, and Aqua Teen also go on there for me.
Yeah, Aqua Teen's great.
But yeah, because Moral Orel is the best adult animated cartoon.
Oh yeah, and Infinity Train
to ever come out.
Now, poor German boy.
Infinity Train.
Oh, Infinity Train. But
yeah.
Okay.
Now poor
German boy
who did not grow up on Cartoon Network, because while individual shows made it over here, they were all over the place. I'm not 100% sure if they are a Cartoon Network show, even if I have watched them. And yeah, they not all of them made it over here. Unlike, fun fact, we had a Nickelodeon channel in Germany.
Yeah, we discovered that Cartoon Network didn't arrive to Germany till like 2004, which is fascinating.
So I'm probably missing a lot of shows, but just looking
of
vaguely over.
Seen.
But yeah, exactly. Of what I'm seeing, and we declared is Cartoon Network, and definitely not being on Google and just scrolling through a list of them. Modern Era, Mau Mau, because yeah, I recall that
was great.
Key and I kept watching it, and we were like,
there's not a single bad episode.
There is not a single. Even fantastic shows have weak episodes. There is not a single one. Every episode in Mau Mau is a banger. How? This is somebody signed their soul away for that. If we go a little bit more classic Cartoon Network, wait, 30 years. So it started in the early 90s.
92.
Okay, so it's not early, because from the early shows, I'm not sure if I watched any, but kind of older-ish Cartoon Network, Teen Titans. The OG, not the Go, obviously.
The 2000s, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because that would be mid 2000s, because they were in the Sea and City shorts, and those were 2004.
God, I loved that show. Watched it up and down. Maybe even on TV. I believe even on TV. And then later, when I discovered shows in original on the internet, I then also, because I missed some episodes, and then I binged them all again. So yeah, great show. Loving it.
Also, Over the Garden Wall is amazing. And I love Craig at the Creek. I think that is the spiritual successor to the Eds, if you like the Eds. But that's the thing. Cartoon Network has a fantastic library of shows. Like, for 30 years, there's a lot of hits. When you look at Nickelodeon's library,
Nickelodeon. The thing is with Nickelodeon, like compared to Cartoon Network, because Cartoon Network seems to always have like a new cartoon that's like, oh yeah, this is great, and then almost like every year or every other year they come out with like a really great cartoon. Nickelodeon relies way too much on their 90s cartoons. Like they rarely make like a new hit. Like the last
they'll throw everything on the wall.
Yeah, the last hit they've had was like The Loud House. And they've been driving that into the ground.
There's only 4 cartoons that have exceeded 100 episodes on Nickelodeon's history, and that's SpongeBob, Fairly Odd Parents, the 2012 Ninja Turtles, and Loud House. One of these things does not belong, but yeah. So I guess there's the answers to the question.
Back to the Discord.
There we go. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Prince of Inquiries asks, we are now in the spoopy month, and a question of such nature must be asked. What is your favorite Halloween? What is your favorite Halloween song, or a song that is thematically Halloween centric? So
Halloween song.
So I guess like either a spooky song or a song that just makes you think of spooky season.
May I go first?
Walking on Sunshine.
I have the least Halloween in my life due to German, and I'm afraid that somebody picks my answer.
Sure, go ahead. You get to go first, Maxie.
Yeah, the only one that really comes to mind that is truly Halloweeny that I'm familiar enough with to be like, yes, definitely. Except for Spooky Scary Skeletons, which isn't mine, is This is Halloween.
Yes.
So the opening number from Nightmare Before Christmas.
Okay, that's a good one, so.
It's the only one, except for the Spooky Scary Skeletons, that I can come up with at all.
Spooky, scary. As soon as it hit midnight, I was in a call for October 1st, and people started blasting the fucking Living Tombstone remix. Not something that you want to hear when you're dead tired and you're just trying to sleep. But okay, Paleo, what's your spooky song?
I was trying to think of one. I was like, I can't really think of one, but I was like, trying to think of someone from video games, and I'm gonna go with like the Pumpkin Hill song from Sonic Adventure 2.
What an interesting choice.
Yeah.
Is it because there's pumpkins in it?
This because there's pumpkins in it. Yeah, that's why.
A Ghost Pumpkin Soup is the title of the song. I guess I link the song below because I don't want to necessarily play a song audio.
Well, I mean, my answer is probably going to be the most obvious song. My
go-to Scary Skeletons?
No, it's not Spooky Scary Skeletons. This one has a visual to it that you can mute and play though, because people will know automatically what it is. It's Terror Time from Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island, a song that had no right to go as hard as it does.
I guess I linked this one down below as well.
Because, oh my god, it's so, like, it's a very, like, it goes hard, like, you know, like, you hear the beating of your heart, you know the screaming's gonna start. It's so good. I mean, I also love this movie, Witch's Ghost is better, and try to convince me otherwise. But, god, if I want to get into the spooky mood, this song is great for it. And it's also just super high energy, and I like the energy of it. A lot of spooky songs are a little bit, you know, except for Spooky Scary Skeletons, are kind of more like more slow. I want my candy to be filled with meth. Like, I need energy.
Yeah. Also, I just remembered we all three forgot one very, very obvious answer.
Is it Monster Mash?
No. Wing ding 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 ding.
Oh.
Yeah.
The Halloween theme.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Halloween has become less scary. That movie's become less scary for me after the video I keep seeing on Twitter every year of the guy trying to run super fast so he could catch up to the girl and look like he's walking.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like another like.
Oh, the one where he's in a garden and just. Raking.
Yeah, he's like raking leaves, and like as she just keeps looking out, he's like doing something different each time. He's like playing like cards with like Jason.
Yeah.
Oh no, I mean there is that one. I gotta find the other one later, but it's just this guy doing like the slow walking, but as soon as the girl turns her head to run away, he like runs in the opposite direction and try to be fast enough. And then the last scene is him driving, and you could see him walk slowly and then run and then stop to walk slowly to try to keep up the appearance. It's so good.
Shit, comes the
Yeah. This is the the video. It's funny.
Oh god, this is a good video though. The internet has made Michael Myers so not scary. Yeah, but like the internet's ruined this character in the best way possible.
I mean, the sequels also kind of ruined the character, and I'm not sure if the sequels helped the character. So there has been a lot of ruining of Jason Voorhees. No, wait, the other one, Michael Myers.
Michael Myers. This is not Jason.
Yeah, and the Austin Powers movies also didn't help his image. Anyways, why is the audio here? There's the audio again.
Be quiet. Okay.
I guess I have one final one, which will be a very quick one, since also only 2 out of 3 people can answer it. Sunkri asks, here's a pony question. Since we already talked a lot of pony, why not? Since I've been loving the G5 episodes, what's your favorite Chapter 2 episode? I have a hard time deciding between 3 and 6. To keep it spoiler-free, just drop the number. I have only seen 2 episodes so far, and I can't even tell them apart.
What?
Wait,
take your
mark.
Let me look.
What is it in the second one?
Because like I don't.
The second one is the Growing Pains episode.
Yeah,
I still don't.
So
neither of them stuck out to me. So if I have to pick a favorite, I mean, you guys kept saying it's the later seasons, the later episodes are good. She asked for episode 3 or 6, which I both haven't seen. So maybe that's why I don't have a favorite yet, because none worthy of the title came.
Yeah,
but yeah,
3 was good. And 6, yeah, that's the sleepover one.
No highlights for season for episode 8. No grand finale.
Well, because they're not seasons, so they weren't broken like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's still like the episodes coming up like later on with the other batches coming up are going to be part of the same like season. Like
as you guys described earlier.
I'm pretty sure Growing Pains was like the first peak one with Opaline and Misty.
So does this make it your favorite?
No. You said you didn't know what happened in the second episode. I'm telling you what it is. My favorite's probably episode 3 because it's the Pip and Zip episode, and I already said that's my favorite one. The episodes are really good when they're just focused on 2 or so characters. You know, like the actual, like the other Gen 4 show.
Yeah, I do like 4 and 5. Like those ones were fun.
Well then, I guess you have answers.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, as I said, the answers should be short, so it's fine. But now I'm all out of Twitter. It's all up to you and the Discord.
Given the time, I guess we'll just go to the FMK. People can ask the question again later. Swiping the FMK, Magical Dude says, it is spoopy month, so we need to start the spoopy FMKs. Just because something is scary doesn't mean it's fuck, marry, kill. Characters who look scary but aren't. We have Morticia Addams from the Addams Family. Dracula from Hotel Transylvania.
Oh, specifically? Okay.
Yes, and Jack Skellington from Nightmare Before Christmas with the worst spelling of Skellington that I've seen. They spelled it Skellenton. You have the internet. But yes, remember, don't judge a book by its cover. Hope October is a great month, and if someone asks if Nightmare Before Christmas is a Halloween or Christmas movie, the answer is yes.
Now, here's a curious question. Will I actually, here's always the thing when you have mixed genders among the candidates.
Yeah, will
how
you actually
far
be able
out
to
of
have
your
a straight
comfort
answer?
Zone? Exactly. How will there be straight answers where they fit the most? But nevertheless, I'm not allowed to go first, anyways. This honor.
It is Paleo's choice.
This honor of questionable nature goes to you. Fuck, marry, kill. Morticia Addams.
All right.
Dracula specifically from Hazbin Hotel. And Jack Skellington.
Hotel Transylvania. Hotel Transylvania. Has been
the other one. The other hotel. Whatever.
All right.
Don't you love that part in Hazbin Hotel when Andy Samberg and Adam Sandler go and save the day?
I'm gonna fuck Morticia.
Why?
I mean, why not?
Why not? She is hot.
Not? Yeah. She's probably full of spiders though, so.
Okay.
Gomez loves that.
Marry Jack Skellington.
But why?
I don't know. It seems like he'd be the most.
I mean, he's the king of Halloween.
Yeah, he's king of Halloween. Yeah, I think he'd be like the most like, because I don't want to marry Dracula. Like he seems like he'd be too controlling. Like from the way he acts in the movies and stuff.
Yeah. So
I'd kill Dracula. And also because I could say I killed Dracula.
Oh, that is something we have very rarely, that you are like, hey, I actually do the kill for fame and fortune.
You are Van Helsing. Yeah.
Yeah.
We usually feel bad about killing one, but this was easy.
Hey, chat, who went last episode? I can't remember.
We should have something somewhere.
Who gets to screw over who? I know you guys are here every week. You should remember.
Unlike
before you
me
say that,
and Christine.
Yeah, unlike us, he went last. Yes, I get to go second this time. Ha ha! Thank you, Odie. Okay, so I'm gonna marry Morticia Addams first of all. Take away all the straight answers. So, why am I marrying Morticia? Have you seen how loving Gomez and Morticia are as a couple? Like, they are, I hate using internet words, but they are goals. They are one of the best couples ever in fiction. And I want what that is. I mean, yes, this probably means that my head's going to be put into a vice script sometimes, or I'm going to get electrocuted, but at least it's out of fun. It's playful. It's not abuse. It's playful. I mean, that's the whole rhetoric of the Addams Family. Also, if we're going by the live action movies, she's played by a fucking gorgeous actress. So I'm getting, because who was she in the Addams Family movies? Adam Family live action. What?
New ferret, new chance. Rocket. He's usually a lot more sociable than Himbo, but he needs to poop first. I have perfect line of sight, so...
what, to watch him shit?
Yes. I mean,
do you think that...
He's using the... He's standing at a bad angle, so I don't see it spread out, as I sometimes do.
Ah, god damn it. Shut up.
Oh, there he is. Come on, he's done business. Oh.
You could just bribe him with paste.
Yeah, I don't have any at my place. Let's see. Yeah, come on here. Yeah, he's a good boy. He actually comes when Daddy is snipping. Look at him. He's a good boy.
Hi, Rocket. Hi, good boy.
Boys. Yeah. But yeah, so
so I'm marrying Morticia. I guess I'm going to fuck Dracula. Cuz you know what?
Did you see that one video of like this is how that Dracula in Hotel Transylvania would probably fuck, and it's just like
yes, I have. So you know what, those movies are animated so crazily. At least it would be a fun time. I'm gonna fuck out of morbid curiosity of how does that work. I've seen how they dance the Macarena in the fucking third movie. I can only imagine what those hips can do in the bedroom. It's gonna be like fucking a rubber band. So yeah, and you know what? Maybe hopefully he doesn't talk while we fuck, so I'm not fucking Adam Sandler. So and then I'm gonna kill Jack Skellington, because you know what? I mean, he lives in the land of Halloween. What's spookier than a dead skeleton? A ghost skeleton. What does Rocket think of that? I'm sure he has very strong opinions.
He's actually nestling in.
Aww. What a wholesome image while you talk about which one of these fictional characters you're going to fuck.
But here's the difference. Himbo showing me the metaphorical middle finger when I try to get him over, and Rocket actually being cuddly.
The golden child.
Yeah. Oh, the winter child. He's just as cuddly in winter. In summer, he's just as much like, fuck you. Anyways, talking about fucking. So
it's your turn.
It is. So, I mean, you thought you put me in a difficult spot here, but it's actually easy to decide to kill Morticia Addams. Because from those three candidates, she is the only one who actually would potentially try to kill you. I mean...
She doesn't kill Gomez.
Not Gomez, but from those three, she is actually the only one who's murderous. Yeah, Jack is all spooky and whatnot, and all about the scares, and by accident he does a lot of horrific things, like with the spider in the under the Christmas tree, and the kidnapping of Santa that could have very easily got him killed. But beyond that, his goal is not the killing, while the Addams family is often enough doing the killing and raising their children to do killing and whatnot. I remember the Girl Scouts in the second movie. Thank you very much. And Wednesday learned it from somebody. So yeah, she's actually the only one who is... Wait, who is the third one? I currently can't switch windows.
It's Dracula and Jack Skellington.
This Dracula is such a softie. He would not kill either. So yeah, she is actually the only one of those monster-esque adjacent persons who actually would potentially kill people. So this is like, I kill her first kind of situation. Then I am going to bone Jack Skellington. I mean, there's a joke about bones in there somewhere. Beyond that, I mean, look at this way. Straight man over here. So Dracula probably still has a dick. So there would be a sword fight going on. I'm not really mentally prepared for.
You think that Jack's not packing schmeat? He has kids with Sally in the sequel game.
Don't they build those kids because Sally herself is built? I'm not sure that they are conceived in the traditional way. Yes, please clean your butt on camera on my arm. Why don't you? Yeah, so but yeah, so Jack is probably, after having to kill Morticia, the character that is most boneable for me. And did you asshole release? Oh, for people unaware, ferrets are related to skunks. They have similar glands.
Oh,
Similar, not a different brand, and it's not as doesn't have the same staying power. But boy, is it disgusting. Talking about disgusting. Oh no, this is evil. But yeah, marrying Dracula. I mean, he might be controlling and everything, but he is a family man. He is a true family man, and unlike Morticia, not out to kill you for fun. So yeah, he is a person to actually.
He kills others for you.
Does he? Does he ever kill? He seems very mellowed out in the movies, and yeah, and since Key didn't go for it for whatever reason, I guess I go for the gold digger answer. This guy is a successful businessman with a giant successful hotel where all undead entities go. Well, then again, I'm not sure if it's still true in the third movie when all the monsters are back in the public. But yeah, he's still successful businessman.
And a hot legal daughter.
Yeah, but she's already married. Are you fucking kidding me?
What?
He's stepping over one glass to get to the other glass. And almost... I mean, you are laughing. He's almost kicking one of the tumblers that you gifted me off the table.
Oh, they're not laughing.
Yeah, not laughing. Well,
can you point the camera so we could see this creature commit crime?
He just left the table.
Oh, he ran away before he ran from the scene of the crime.
Yeah,
but
he
yes,
just left and left. He just left me in this chaos and this stench of his release. It's situation-wise speaking a little bit awkward.
A and Y and Key say hi to the people in the chat. The memes are seen on this live stream as they talk about random grabs. Time for awkward guests. It's the awkward. Random guests and funny gags on the awkward guests. It's the awkward. Hard work and analysis which you do not want to miss on awkward.